And who are you? A black-haired man in his 40s is leafing through a tattered paperback. When you come closer, he stops to shine an friendly, albeit mischievous smile your way. It's a rare sight amongst these surly locals. Greetings, my dear. Gosha the Dragon is so glad to see you. Pink-cheeked, not yet broken by oppressive atmosphere we live in, I'd be thrilled to converse with someone like you, or even give them an important task. I like important tasks. The man spreads his arms wide as if to embrace the world. Sounds intriguing, you eloquent demon. What is the task? Gosha the Dragon rests his hand on your shoulder. The task is very simple, my dear. I pay 300 rubles and give you some grub as well. All you need to do is get this message to my uterine brother, Zorzik Ratchikan. The man waves a page from a notebook with 3 words scribbled on it. We're stupid enough to enlist in the ranks of the looters, a bunch of local criminals. Now he's at their base where an honest stalker cannot go. But I won't give up until I persuade him to return. Okay, if I ever find myself in the looters' base, I'll give the note to you. Actually, why entrust me with this task all of a sudden? Why? Because I know how hard it is to get there. People spend all their money on transport, eat all their food along the way, and sometimes spend their ammunition too if their travel companions are disagreeable. This desperate newcomers make for trustworthy and diligent workers. Gosha the Dragon winks at you cunningly. You exploit people, but I do need a job. Give me the note. A wise choice, my dear. Here you are. You'll find the looters at this location. The man hands you the crumpled sheet of paper and grabs your map from where it's sticking out of your backpack. He confidently points to the side, out the side for you. Here it is, but there's not much point in approaching their base from the surface. Their guards are way too lazy to distinguish between decent guys and less decent, but I believe you'll find a way in. Okay. Why do they call you the dragon? The man grins. Definitely not because I'm a bloodthirsty monster who only loves to fill his ill-gotten gains. Definitely not because I'm a bloodthirsty monster who only loves his ill-gotten gains in frightening babies and stalkers. What do you do here? Gosha the Dragon laughs and reaches out to mush your hair as if you were a child who said something stupid. You're unfortunately not quick enough to avoid his gently stroking hand. It would be difficult considering I'm wearing a fucking radiation suit. Oh, nothing great, my dear. Just doing my best to survive. God gifted me with a big heart, you know, so I've been helping out my brother and nephews, and many other people. I don't think of myself at all. I don't even remember how I made this fortune. Can you believe it? No, rightly so. Keep your hands to yourself, man. Sorry, mate. Didn't mean to offend you. I'm just a habitually handsy fellow. Vidal surreptitiously jabs you with his elbow. Amigo, this El Perro is very economical with the truth. Don't turn this situation into yet another fight. I don't turn situations into fight, Fidel. Why the whispers, guy? Sharing your secrets? I'll repeat. Don't be angry with me. I just want to be friends with everyone. Only my mummy and the big boss and Atom get to pat me on the head. Die. Drop it. Another question. What can you tell me about the station? It's a good place and safe. After a week here in my den, when I go out of the city to bring my money to my poor family, I feel scared. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder waiting for a blow. And any rumours? Have you seen the huge ants or huge wasps? The turtles have gotten quite large in some areas too. There was a man staying at the tavern with his son who swore they even used to ride them back in the day. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Strange man. Another fortune teller, oh god. A mysterious woman in red greets you with half a smile and a barely perceptible inclination of her head. Resting her fingertips on your shoulders, she looks deep into your eyes, presumably satisfied with what she sees. The woman addresses you. Welcome to my emporium, stranger. Oh, I see I've come across the local massage parlor. Are you selling anything? I don't see any merchandise. I'm not selling anything, at least not here. I am buying. The things I choose to purchase are quite rare, but I am willing to pay a good price. Weapons? Enlighten me, maybe I can help you. Indeed, that is possible, but keep in mind I'm not interested in illegal goods. The items I seek cannot be found on any restricted list. I am a dealer in rare artifacts. Do you know this word? I've heard the word before, but I don't know exactly what you mean by it. Tell me more. The woman contemplates your reply for a minute. When she finally begins to speak again, she does so very slowly, as if thinking over each word. Everything in our world can be explained. Everything has its own internal logic. Oftentimes you know why certain things have happened, and other times you make an educated guess. But sometimes, some things happen that cannot be explained. For example, items that shouldn't exist, I call such items artifacts. Give me an example of an artifact. A long time ago, a young woman sought shelter from the rain beneath a pile of hay. The rain kept falling and she soon fell asleep. When she rolled over, she was awoken by a prick. She'd been stung by a sewing needle. The needle was threaded through a ribbon with the same woman's name embroidered on it. No more context, no additional information. Just that needle in the haystack, a ribbon with the name on it and nothing else. The nearest village was long abandoned. What happened next? The woman put the needle away in her bag and took it with her. The next morning she woke up to another prick. The needle was in her bed again. From that day on, the same thing happened every night, unless there was someone else present. Those times the needle stayed put. Something simple as a working camera could have been a witness, or this could be explained as a case of sleepwalking or forgetfulness, but the needle moved even if the woman's hands and feet were tied. I assume the woman in the story is you? What makes you think that? No, the woman in the story isn't me. It's just a curious anecdote from the realm of artifacts. I guess anything is possible. The woman nods her head in agreement and studies you closely. Listen, I will tell you something I tell all stalkers. If you come across an artifact during your travels, bring it to me. I will give you a better price than any merchant in the wasteland. What do you do with these artifacts? Do you resell them? Well, you could say that, yes. How will I know which items you're interested in? Let's just say that you will feel these things. It should be obvious. Even the exceptions are rare. Oops. Where should I look for these artifacts? Any tips? Unfortunately, I cannot help you with that. These items are special after all. Thanks for the lecture. I need to go through my things. Nope. I just want to ask you some questions about everyday life and so on. Sorry, but I'd rather not answer. My job requires me to keep a certain professional distance. Whatever you say, I better go then. Right. Well, I'm slowly introducing myself to everyone here. I'm still no further to finding the killer, I guess. I could go that way. I mean, the guy was seen in the tunnels. Where was the guy murdered? It was on the other side, wasn't it? So he was found here. And I can't get up that way, but I can get up this way. I presume he could be up there then? Strange. So it's just the last guy to speak to you then. A well-built man with a chiseled physique who looks around 40 greets you with a smile and a nod. You quickly notice he's rather strange looking somehow. Maybe it's his gaze? This huge fella who can easily turn out to be a mercenary or bandit is looking at you with a sense of childlike play and innocence that reminds you of an Albert Einstein photograph you saw in a textbook as a teen. The man then starts talking and his tone quickly proves that he is indeed rather extraordinary and eccentric. Excelsior! Hello to you, fellow human. My name is Professor Vodkin, and you are? Oh, don't tell me, you're a stalker too? I'm an agent of Atom. Sure, it shows, right? Professor Vodkin nods. Oh, indeed it does. Well, how can I help you, Comrade Stalker? And can I? Because I don't offer jobs. I don't sell things, I just live here, and, well, that's that. Great, I'm simply looking for a conversation. Or, actually no, so you live here? How come? You're not a stalker. Professor Vodkin sighs and looks at the floor. Yes, no, I'm not. I was expelled from my hometown by the True Regret elite. They conducted searches in my lab. They fined me. They publicly humiliated me. I had to run. I swear, the brute who burned Copernicus at the stake, who ordered to cut Galileo's feet off, who fed Da Vinci to the flesh-eating insects, they somehow found out a recipe for immortality and are still ruling over us honest scientists. Interesting. I want to ask you another thing. Excelsior, what is on your mind? What is this, Excelsior? Oh, nothing special, my friend. It's just a word I kept using when I was but a mere student to make myself look smart and educated. Nowadays, as you can see, I'm an important thinker, scientist, and creator. But above all else, I'm a passionate, childlike innovator. Yet I still keep using that word, because it grew in me. Excelsior. And an Excelsior to you too, Professor. I see. And what is it that you do here? He looks around. Well, if you're that interested, maybe I'm secretly continuing the experiments which led to my exile from my hometown. Maybe I'm trying to create an elixir that'll grant amazing powers to those who use it. Maybe I even have it in this very syringe right here. The professor swiftly produces a huge metal syringe and lifts it above his head as if ready to stab you. Excelsior, want to try it out? I don't usually allow myself such generous propositions. The professor looks at the contents of his syringe and licks his dry lips as if thirsty for the substance. After I added several, very special components of the formula, I became a little bit hooked on the stuff. But you don't need to know such things. So, will you try this amazing product, my friend? Oh, child, please, for the love of God, do not suck on the teat of this foul man's syringe. Look at him lick his lips. That thing probably contains heroin, the drug that destroyed a generation. A generation of godless capitalists, but still. USSR, by the way, had no drug problem whatsoever. Well, there was one light recreational drug we loved to use. It was love. Love for the country, for your mother, for your neighbours, for the giant lions of the potato store, for Comrade Brezhnev's political decisions. Oh, and it takes only so little for love to become hatred. Remember this, my child. Love is a mask hatred wears. There's no heroin in the official formula. None whatsoever. No heroin, according to me. People like to badmouth my research, and that includes myself. Sometimes when I'm completely stoned by this concoction and I'm stumbling around this place naked, I shriek about my formula actually containing heroin and other terrible, terrible substances. But it's all lies. Lies, I tell you. That's an interesting way to finish the sentence to someone with intelligence, apparently. Wow, old man Hexagen finally found someone with a similar weird-ass speech pattern. Weird-ass? Excelsior. Should I inject myself with this substance? What's the worst that can happen? Question mark. I'm not afraid. Heck, stick it in me, Professor. Just don't miss the vein. The Professor stabs the needle straight into your carotid artery and pushes the plunger. This doesn't sound good. Amazing. Thank you kindly. Now please have a little straw, or maybe a trip into the tunnel, so that the formula might settle in your body and start to change in your biochemistry. Okay, I'll keep an eye on my health. Hope the thing will work eventually. Now another question. What have I just put myself in for fuck's sake? Jesus, why am I so damn curious? What can you tell me about this place? This place is reminding me of my old lab cage full of white rats I used to use for cruel and unusual experiments. Just change the cage into a metro station, rats into stalkers, and experiments into heavy drinking and ruin looting. Oh, and take me out of the picture. That analogy made no sense. The sense of it was that I missed my old lab. Oh, it was so beautiful. The Novgorod University city would die of envy. Uh-huh. Any rumours? Rumours. The only rumours you can hear in the dead city are about some stalker shooting some other stalker and getting eaten by a mutant. Why can't these brutes be more peaceful? You can get what you want without violence, and that's a fact. All you need is a plan, an idea. Ideas are amazing. Ideas are like currency. Ideas are what drives the world. Ideas are what we need to get to the next stage. Take those so-called scientists from Krasno's pneumonia, the Mycelium Society. They managed to get political power without a single shot. A few years ago, they had just a few members, and look at what they accomplished with no weapons. People believe in them, love them, visit their free meal giveaways, and that proves to me that sometimes great ideas are actually horrible ideas. Excelsior, wait. That proves to me sometimes great ideas are actually horrible ideas, huh? What do you have for sale? The spoon doesn't fill me with hope. Spoon and syringes. Not a good mixture. At least when it comes to talking about heroin. Great idea. I should go now. Alright, so what does my quest log say exactly? Professor Vodkin injected me with some strange serum that should give me super strength. I need to walk around the city and check how I feel. What? Gave me super strength. Doesn't seem to be doing anything so far. Not even any effects. Okay. Again, there was someone that I noticed over, I think it was here somewhere, who was selling, oh, it might have been over here. It might have been Fancy Pants, actually. Selling a stone knife, and I noticed that it had some rather unusual properties when I was going back and re-watching. No, it's not you. Is it you? Oh, I'm smoking to you, actually. I don't think. No, he has money, I'd remember that. A skinny, gloomy-looking stalker is hunched over, staring down at his feet. He looks anxious. When you come closer, the man greets you with a nod and addresses you in a high and slightly hoarse voice. What do you want? Why do you seem so unhappy? The skinny stalker mumbles something and spits on the ground. What is there to be happy about? Not only can you not trust anyone around here, you can't even trust yourself, so it seems. Well, tell me more. What's there to tell? I met this shady dude at one of my trips. He introduced himself as a stalker, seemed to have cash too. He eyed my kit and smirked as if he'd been looking for something more valuable. So I says to him, what are you looking for? He replies, when you come across what I'm looking for, you'll know. I said, at least show me something as an example. He didn't want to at first, but I managed to persuade him. I'm taking this to my fence right now. Take a good look at it, then look at me. He handed me a polished piece of wood about the size of a cigarette pack with the word burn carved into it. I looked it over, then looked at the stalker, and then... I had an overwhelming urge to kill him for no reason, none at all. I didn't want to just put him down either. I wanted to torture him, tie him up, cut into his flesh, tear him the fuck apart, pour salt on his gaping wounds, crack his skull open, sink my teeth into his brain, suck up his blood until I threw up. I truly felt like mutilating the guy, destroying him, reducing him to nothing, turning him to dust, wiping his ass with his own skin that I tore off him whilst he was still alive, poking out his eyes and then grinding them into the dirt. That's an oddly descriptive amount of information right there. Fucking hell, what's gotten into you? Oh, I'll keep listening to silence for now. The man's staring at the floor, his eyes the man is staring at the floor, his eyes two pools of darkness. He knew that damn chunk of wood would have this effect. He'd taken a step back and placed his hand on his gun, but I guess he also knew I'd keep it under control. It wasn't easy, but I managed. I actually fell on my knees and growled at him, barked like a dog. I screamed that I would tear at his larynx with my teeth, but in less than a minute the sensation faded, vanished all of it. I screamed that I would tear at his larynx with my teeth, but in less than a minute the sensation faded, vanished, all of it. No hatred, no rage left, but I can still remember all the horrific things I wanted to do to him. But it wasn't something I wanted, it's something I'm scared and ashamed of, the things he's into. If they're anything like that wooden plaque, I hope I never see the freak son of a bitch again. I'm pissed at myself now. That some little piece of shit made me feel all those terrible things. It's just, it makes me feel empty inside. It's really fucked up. You don't still have it on you? No. You answer a couple of questions. I've seen you talking to Kurds. What do you want from me? What's your name, bro? The fellow utters his nickname through clenched teeth so as not to be overheard. Little, that's what they call me. Seems like you're not a fan of that moniker. The stalker turns away. He's doing a poor job of concealing his grudge. For fuck's sake, of course I'm not a fan. Living with my hype was well enough. Now everyone's calling me Little. Assholes. Why don't they call Kurds a fur-faced gimp then? Why don't they call that detective chump fuckbrain? It's not fair. Let's be honest, Little is quite generous in your case. They call you something like pig-legged dwarf man or the wee piss-pad chester. Jesus. I understand. Trying to think about it too much. What are you doing here? I'm scavenging like everyone else. That's what we do here. In case you didn't notice. So don't even ask. I'm sick of it already. Real sick. That'd be sad. And what can you tell me about this place? If it weren't for the woodpecker's homicidal nonsense, I would have given this tiny hell the highest rating possible in the Dead City. A solid 2 out of 5. But now I'm calling it a 1, which, in comparison with some other places around here, isn't really that bad. Which is still terrible. And what's the latest gossip? I'm tired of people's bullshit nonsense about Krasnoye. Civilization has restored itself to a point where people are too well off for their own good. That's why this weird mushroom society popped up, and goat cults where teenagers get blitzed on fermented beetroot and have orgies. The old axiom is true, you know? The human spirit is forged in pain and suffering. All this comfort and ease reduces people to mindless cattle. It is pretty terrible. Where are we going? Bye. Okay, but yeah, as I was saying before, I spoke to a guy, I don't know which one it was, but one of them had a stone knife for sale, and it had some interesting... Yeah, look at that. So, homemade weapon, chance to ignore arm 10%, but adds 70 damage against cosmic horrors. I'm thinking we should probably buy it. It's 27 rubles, and Alex can use it. It's a bit of an odd description, you know? Let's give it to Alexander. You can always use it if weird stuff starts to happen. So is that just a joke, or is it... I mean, I know obviously there is a lot of Lovecraft stuff in this, so yeah, that could be part of it, but I'm not 100% sure whether it's just a joke, or... I don't see why. Anywho, I've got one more guy to talk to who I missed at the start, I'm told. So I'm going to go up and speak to him, and then we'll see what we can do. I mean, he did say walk the tunnels. What if I go through the tunnels, actually? Where does it take me? Is it like a different map? Let's see what's through there. Ooh, now this is interesting. How fast does time pass down here? Looks the same as normal. It's rather strange considering the distance, but... I wonder whether I can encounter... Ooh, what the Suddenly you're surrounded by trees and bushes. It seems like weird concoctions that the Professor Vodkin gave an unexpected effect. Wait, what's that? Is that like a placeholder image, or is there actually a giant ant? What? Shit. I follow a flying pointer down. With dread in your eyes, you notice a giant mermaic standing before your frame, which is tiny in comparison. The monster watches you silently, and every facet of his multifaceted eyes reflect your scared, wide-eyed face. Finally, the silence is broken by the mermaic. So it's a giant talking mermaic, which also has a pretty nice skin considering the size of the model. Wait, is it changing to night rapidly, or is it just being weird? Well, I guess that would be being weird. Yep, looks like it. Hey there, human. Hi. What are you? Me? I'm Gosha the Mermic, human. What are you doing in my hallowed grounds? Gosha the Mermic. These are your hallowed grounds? But where are they and where am I? On my hallowed grounds. Where else? Look around. There they are. What exists may not be non-existent. Where are your hallowed grounds at? Or I could just look around. You're surrounded by a huge forest. The leaves on the distant trees look like smoke. The grass under your feet moves in fluid motions like seaweed. You sigh and look back at the mermaid. What? You will soon disappear? Is that what you're silently trying to say? Fine, I won't object. If you want to find the true way, give yourself up to the freedom of the sky. Give yourself up to the freedom of the sky. Why does that sound familiar? How can I do this, Comrade Mermic? I do not know. We're at a standstill. I'm also not the master of my actions in the world around me. But despite that, I can completely tie them to my will if need be. It's the paradox of body and mind, human. So you're simultaneously in control and not in control. You're contradicting yourself, no? You act like a stubborn, annoying child, human. I say, wake up and leave my abode. Wake up? Oh, I'm looking around. Oh. You can feel the cold stone of the dead city under you. Oh, my character's flailing quite a bit. Oh, he's looking at his hands. You feel the cold stone of the dead city under you as you look around. The enchanted forest and the giant mermic are completely gone. You're back in reality. Are you okay? Damn, I got so worried. Dios mío. Phew. Oh, child, you're alive. Thank goodness. Your daddy was so scared. Oh, God, Hexagen. Please never refer to yourself as that again. You're alive, huh? Don't tell anyone, but I'd eat your corpse if you turned out to be dead. Hey, why are you looking at me like that? I was just kidding. My tasty friend. Alexander, I'm more concerned by you than Hexagen right now. That's not a good thing. Your loyal dog happily licks your face and wags his tail. Oh, my head. It sure messed me up nicely. Nice formula you got there, Professor. Professor Vodkin? Oh, my head's still spinning. Well, it's definitely giving me the munchies. That's for damn sure.